Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing amazing today. In this video, we're diving into the latest updates about Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. You don't want to miss this. So make sure to stay tuned till the end, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Kelly Ripa never expected a morning that began so ordinarily to end in a moment that would change her life, her perspective, and her heart in ways she couldn't have imagined. The day started like any other. Bright studio lights humming awake, producers pacing with coffee cups, and New York's skyline dusted with a thin blush of sunrise. Yet beneath the routine, something electric hovered, something Kelly couldn't quite name. Mark Consuelos, her husband and co-host, had been strangely quiet since dawn. Not withdrawn, just focused, as if carrying a secret that he was determined not to crack before the right moment. Kelly noticed it when he barely touched his smoothie, when he tied his shoe twice even though it was already tied, and when he offered that soft half-smile, the one he flashed only when he was up to something. But Kelly, as usual, was running on autopilot, cue cards, makeup retouches, earpieces, segment edits. It wasn't until they were mic'd up and walking toward the set of Live with Kelly and Mark that she realized Mark kept glancing at her with that same tight-lipped excitement. "What?" she whispered, nudging him with her shoulder. "Nothing," he said, a little too quickly. She raised an eyebrow. "You're acting weird." "Me? Never," he teased, brushing it off. But Kelly knew her husband after more than 2 decades together. And whatever he was hiding, it was big. The show begins. The opening music blasted through the studio, the audience erupted in applause, and Kelly and Mark stepped onto the stage with the polished ease of a duo born for television. Kelly greeted fans, waved, tossed playful comments. Mark did the same. Everything looked normal on camera. But off camera, Mark kept looking at her as though he was holding a balloon so full it might burst. During the cooking segment, he forgot the guest chef's name. During the trivia game, he misread the card. During the celebrity gossip update, he stumbled over a headline he'd rehearsed 10 times. Kelly leaned in during a commercial break. "Okay, seriously, are you feeling all right?" Mark opened his mouth, then closed it again. "I'm fine," he said, smoothing his notes even though they didn't need smoothing. She gave him another look, one of those classic Kelly looks that could stop a full-grown athlete in his tracks. But the countdown began again, and the moment flew away. A surprise segment. Halfway through the show, the executive producer, Michael, tapped Kelly on the shoulder with a subtle hand motion, a sign she knew well. Something unexpected was coming, a surprise segment, but she wasn't supposed to know that. Still, she played along. When they returned from commercial, Mark sat a little straighter, eyes sparkling with nerves. "We have something special for you all," he announced, voice slightly higher than usual. "A segment very close to my heart." Kelly blinked. His heart? The audience leaned in, sensing something brewing. "Kelly," Mark said, turning toward her. "For once, you're not allowed to look at your note cards." The audience laughed. Kelly placed the cards on the desk, palms raised. Okay, what's happening?" Mark inhaled deeply, the kind of inhale that means here goes nothing. And then the lights dimmed. On the giant screen behind them, a video began to play. A journey through the years. At first, Kelly thought it was a promo reel, but then she heard it, her own voice. A clip from her early days on Live, long before Mark ever joined the show. Then came a montage. Kelly's first appearance on the show, her interviews, mishaps, goofy dances, clips of her kids growing up, behind-the-scenes moments never aired on television. And finally, moments of her and Mark, from their wedding, their vacations, their early parenthood, their move to becoming co-hosts. It was a timeline of their entire life together, seen through Mark's eyes. Kelly's jaw dropped. "Mark, what is this?" But Mark didn't answer. He simply watched the screen, his hands clasped tightly together. The montage ended with a final message in white script. "For everything you've given to this show, to our family, and to the world, you deserve to hear what comes next." The screen faded out. Kelly pressed a hand to her chest. "Mark." She didn't even realize tears had already begun pooling in her eyes. The big shock. The audience waited, silent and captivated. Mark swiveled toward her, his expression turning tender, so full of emotion that Kelly's breath caught. "Kel," he began softly, "you are the hardest working person I know. You've carried this show through changes, challenges, and evolutions. You're the heartbeat of it. And I know you don't often stop long enough to let yourself feel appreciated." Kelly wiped her cheek, laughing through her tears. "Mark, what are you doing?" Mark reached under the desk and pulled out a small blue folder. The entire audience leaned forward. "I've been working with the network, the producers, and even the studio team for months," he said. "They all agreed on something important, something overdue." He slid the folder toward her. Kelly looked confused but opened it. Inside was a document, a very official document, and Kelly gasped. What is this?" Mark smiled, a smile of pride, relief, and pure love. "You're being honored with a lifetime achievement recognition," he said. "From the network, from the entire broadcasting community. It's official. It's public as of today." Kelly covered her mouth. Tears spilled freely now, not from shock alone, but from the overwhelming force of gratitude. "Mark, no, this can't be real. Why didn't anyone tell me?" "Because," he said, touching her hand, "I wanted to be the one to." The audience rose in a standing ovation. Applause thundered through the studio. Kelly shook her head, overwhelmed. "Mark, I don't deserve this." "Yes," Mark said firmly, "you do. More than you'll ever admit." More applause, more cheers. Kelly tried to speak, but her voice wavered. This is the kindest thing anyone has ever done." I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything," Mark replied, "just feel it." But the surprise wasn't over. Just as Kelly attempted to compose herself, the studio doors opened. In walked her children. Michael, Lola, Joaquin. Kelly gasped, completely undone. "No, you didn't. Mark, you didn't." The kids rushed toward her, hugging her on live television. "We're so proud of you, Mom," Lola said, wiping her own eyes. "You deserve this," Michael added. "You're amazing," Joaquin whispered. The audience awed in unison. Kelly turned to Mark, trembling with joy. "You planned all this?" Mark nodded. "Every part." "That's why you were acting weird?" she asked, half laughing, half crying. "Busted," he said. The emotional speech. Kelly took a moment, finally standing to face the crowd. Tears glimmered in her eyes, catching the studio lights like tiny stars. "I have been doing this show for decades," she said, voice quivering. "And I've loved it through every version of it. I've loved the mornings, the chaos, the laughter, the mistakes, the surprises. But I never expected something like this." She paused, placing a hand on her heart. "I'm honored, I'm humbled, and I'm so incredibly grateful, not just to the audience but to my family, my team, and especially to Mark. You shocked me today. Completely." Mark squeezed her hand. Mission accomplished. Kelly continued, wiping her cheeks. "I don't usually cry this much on television. Actually, that's a lie, I do. But this is different. This is unforgettable." The crowd erupted again. A moment for the books. The show ended that day with an emotional family embrace, applause still echoing as the credits rolled. Even after the cameras cut, Kelly remained speechless, overwhelmed in the best possible way. "You did all of this," she whispered to Mark backstage. "I did," he said, "because you deserve moments that are bigger than even you can imagine." Kelly threw her arms around him, tears still fresh. "You shocked me. Completely, and it was perfect." "I'm glad," Mark whispered into her hair. And in that quiet moment behind the curtain, with family by her side, staff members wiping their own eyes, and the glow of a life's worth of work being recognized, Kelly Ripa felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Seen, celebrated, loved beyond measure, and yes, completely, utterly, beautifully shocked.